Hey everybody, it is November 2nd. Happy birthday, Darren Wilcox. Hope you're having a great day. Today's Tuesday, November 2nd. I've had a great day again. A lot of pain, but I just keep trying to focus my energy on everything but it. But eventually it catches up with me, and then I have to heavily medicate. It is what it is. I spoke with my doctor today. I sent a sample of something for him to test. So hopefully we'll see what the results are of that. And just go from there. I don't know. Your homework assignment is to read Ezekiel 13 verses 1 through 16 and Psalm 61. Your prophets have been like jackals among ruins, O Israel. Ezekiel 13 verse 4. Today's title is A True Prophet. Got an itch? The work of incompetent engineers can lead to disaster. Bad doctors are dangerous to their patients' health. But there is nothing worse than a false prophet. That's for sure. And I met one of them. What is a prophet? Prophets speak of things to come, but even more, they speak of God's word. The true prophet speaks the truth in season and out, whether popular or not. A true prophet is willing to speak the truth precisely in the face of opposition. Ezekiel compares false prophets to jackals among the ruins. Rather than build, they destroy and profit from their falsehoods. It's interesting because when I first moved here, I was visiting churches, and I had bought like a couple racks from a church, Pentecostal church. So I went to this Pentecostal church, and it was quite interesting. In fact, I met with the pastor and his wife, and they were both pastors, and talked to them during Lent about my fasting and what I had been through with the blood clots, what I had been through with my dad, because they're pastors, that's what we talk about. So then when I go to the church service, he actually has the nerve to do a whole sermon on fasting after they looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you thinking? That's not biblical. So what does he do during the church service? Is continue to talk about how fasting isn't good for you. And at the end says, have mercy, eat a hot dog. Well, anybody that knows Natalie knows I'm highly allergic to hot dogs. I have projectile vomiting. I can't even turn it off. So the thought of eating a hot dog? So how poetic was that for him to say that? I was like, are you seriously kidding me? You are not the smartest tool in the shed. So every once in a while I have to periodically pop back in there just to let him know I'm keeping an eye on him, because that congregation is clueless as to these people that are leading it. They may know the Bible, but they don't know the Bible. They may know parts of it, but then they add their own interpretation. And for them to tell me fasting is not good for me and I need to eat a hot dog, that is never going to happen. Fasting is good for you. Totally good for you. And I don't even know what I would have done had I not fasted with all the food allergies that I had. The fasting saved my life is what it did. And it would save a lot of people's lives. But anywho, so what are we called to do? Find pastors willing to speak the truth. Pastor Buck, Pastor Milky, Pastor Shalhorn, and the new pastor, sorry, I can't remember his name, but he's super cool too, from Trinity. Find pastors willing to speak the truth, who wish to please God rather than men. Sometimes God's true prophets say things that we do not want to hear. Exactly. And the story of my life, that's why I'm single, and I've been single, because men run from the truth. Well, a lot of people run from the truth, but most men do. And I'm sorry, if you lie to my face, I'll call you out on it. I've always been like that. Everybody's known Natalie to be that way. So, you know what? Being single for me definitely has its rewards. And I'm never alone because I got him and I got my girls. So you know what? It's all good. So I'm going to go back and read this again. So what are we called to do? Find pastors willing to speak the truth, who wish to please God rather than men. Sometimes God's true prophets say things that we do not want to hear. Sometimes we feel like our toes are being stepped on, and I felt that day. I thought, how dare you? But the truth saves, for the truth tells us our sin, and the truth warns us. But so also the truth tells us of our Savior, the good news that our sins have been placed upon our Lord, who himself was put to death for speaking the truth. And you know what? I will speak the truth until the day I die. And you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell a lie. That's not who Natalie is. I'm going to read this again. But the truth saves, for the truth tells us of our sin, and the truth warns us. But so also the truth tells us of our Savior, the good news that our sins have been placed upon our Lord, who himself was put to death for speaking the truth. Yeah, that need to be read again. Thanks be to God that he gave his son for us, which is still really unbelievable. I mean, I believe it, but how do you, I just don't the word of truth himself was put to death for our transgressions and our forgiveness. And that's the truth. Dearest Jesus, send up faithful prophets that by your word spoken through them, we might be saved. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, it's really interesting in my devotions how they parallel my life a lot, or they've paralleled what's going on in the world. I'm still suffering. I'm on a kind of a standstill right now until my remedies are ready. Hopefully they're going to be ready this week. I'm not sure after talking with my doctor earlier today. But I've ordered some different things to help ease my pain. One of the things, I got this headband thing, and it actually kind of like puts pressure on my head in a bad way, almost like it's strangling my head, like the vice grip, it already feels like. So I don't need that. So I'm not quite sure if that thing is going to work. I'm looking for something that's got pressure points. So if anybody out there knows of any, like even a helmet or something that has pressure points, because the massage chair does nothing for my head. So that's a huge, big no-no in that chair. It just does not have everything I need. So anywho, if anybody out there knows of anything, please, drop a comment, let me know, message me, call me, whatever. I would appreciate it. So on that note, Princess Harley's right here. I got Hannah Grace right here. They're doing good. Right, baby? Yeah. So, anywho, that's it for the day, and hope you have a great night. See you later.